Hello, everyone. My name is Kate. I am your host at Advisor Talks, and today we're going to talk about mission, vision of how to get off the employment leash. Welcome, Elena. Okay, Elena, thank you for coming here today. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, so people who's listening, they can have an idea of the person that is going to advise them today of what to do, and how not to be afraid of move on.
Perfect. Thank you, Kate, for inviting me on your show. I really appreciate it. So my name is Elena Petrescu. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and a body language expert. And through my years of expertise, I used to be an accountant. And that was many years ago. And I did transition from being an accountant to a self-employed person. I used to have a full-time job with the government, and I realized that really I wanted more than that. Mm-hmm. So my intention was to transition from that mindset to a different mindset. Then later on, I realized, through, again, experiences with my clients, I'll give you an example. I had a client who came to me looking for tax. Mm-hmm. And I looked at his return and I realized that I could easily give him a $15,000 refund just by applying for the disability tax credit. To my surprise, the client said, well, I don't want charity. I'm not poor. So I realized that there is a limiting belief there around money. So what I've decided to do is learn everything about the mind, why we do the things we do, why we think the same way or the way we think, and what we can do to transition. I really wanted to help that individual, but I wasn't able to because I couldn't understand what was happening here. So I trained as a hypnotherapist, and then I started working with people. And as I did, I was beginning to understand what really happens here, why we do the things we do. Why fear comes up. And so then I was able to work with people and help them move forward and transition to whatever they wanted to feel and experience.
Well, let's be honest, everybody is enjoying this employment, right? Because it gives us this mask of security, the feeling of security. But I have social benefits, just God forbid I miss or I leave or I'm going to be fired. I will have, social benefits and all this will cover my mortgage, this and that. But really, no, when you get to a certain amount of income, social security doesn't work for you. And that's the moment where you literally have to become self-employed. Build yourself a pillow where you can leave, that you can lean on 6 months, 1 year if you're opening a business, right? If you're operating from home, it's a different story, but still you need somebody to lean on. And in my previous podcast, I was using as an example this mom with 2 kids, because my auditory is pretty much, females. 83% of my statistics are the females. Most of them are single moms because, they attract. I'm a single mom with 2 kids and I am doing the best I can. And I feel like I want to share my experience. I want to open up a little bit more so you can maybe inspire from, if she can, I can too. Elena, tell me what is the first step that a mom like that can do, if she decides, this is it. I don't want to visit the job that I don't want to visit. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. What is the first step she needs to change in here?
So the first thing I'd feel is she needs to know what she truly wants. So what would be her desired outcome? So she needs to visualize, this is where I want to be. and really feel that in the present moment and really be very specific. Specificity is very important. It's like deciding to go on a trip, right? And before you get to your destination, you're going to go through different. So, for example, are you going to fly? Are you going to drive? What are the steps that you need to do to get to your destination?
So it's like the vision of where you want to get is like the key to those golden handcuffs.
Yes.
To be able to open at least one side and let yourself go.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say shift on it. But staying safe and secured is something, even if we are not comfortable, we still have a feeling that we're staying safe and secured, right?
Yeah.
Why is it happening? Why do people struggle being somewhere where they're not comfortable?
So there's a couple of things that come into play. There is a mismatch between the role that they're doing now and their identity. That's one thing. The next thing that would come up is fear. What if? What's going to happen if I make that move or if I go there? Uncertainty is very big because, when we make a big leap like this, when you decide, okay, there is a component of uncertainty that comes up, and that kind of tends to keep some people stuck because they don't have that. They're going to leave a security, meaning when you have a salary, you have some kind of a security, you have benefits, and that comes in. What does that do for you? It gives you peace of mind, right? Because okay, this money is coming in. The moment I do the leap, what's going to happen?
Isn't it a fear dressed in logic?
It is a fear dressed in logic. That was my next thing. So the fear kicks in. Uncertainty is a fear.
But logically thinking, I am all safe and secure. I have my employment and stuff like that. So, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yes, that's what comes in. But the moment they want to make the leap, that's what happens is they're going to look for logic to identify that I should stay here.
Or justify the fear.
Yes.
Justifying the fear.
Right.
Okay. So what happened to me in my previous life, and it still goes back with me, I used to be an esthetician.
Okay.
I stopped being an esthetician, and I really liked what I did, but I was kind of pushed out of it. I got very sick. I had PUPS, if you know what that means. It's out of the 10,000 pregnant females. We would have this bubbles that will come on our skin,
like blisters,
and then I was able to peel my skin off my legs. My entire body was like a one big purple blister, and I was pushed out of being an esthetician because I couldn't work with this hands.
You were reacting to the...
Yes. And I did not have this pillow of that I just spoke about, 6 months, 12 months. I was kind of thrown in there. And my backup is when I decided that, I need to get out of the self-employment and from the employment, I said, I can always go back to doing facials and massaging people.
Yes,
maybe that's an idea for somebody else, that they can, use their knowledge from the previous life to still go back.
They can. That's one way of thinking about it. I truly believe that everybody's different. A lot of what comes up when things like this happen is we all have our own experiences, our own, childhood. And the programming starts when we are small, from the moment we are born up to about 7 or 8. Now, because of our programming, people tend to see the world through their own experiences. So your experience is different than someone else's.
Yes.
They may not automatically say, oh, I can do that.
Yes.
Right? So one thing is, yes, when that fear comes up, what happens is it keeps us stuck. So from working with different clients, what I've noticed is stop focusing on that fear. Okay? Focus on the outcome. What is it that you truly want to achieve?
What is that perfect number that you want to achieve?
Yes.
And what that number will give you
Exactly.
when you achieve that.
Yes. So be very specific about that. Stop focusing on, oh, well, what if this, what if that? See, people tend to think negatively, and they already know what they don't want.
Yeah.
So they need to change the narrative.
Because the energy is where your attention is.
Yes. So they need to focus on, okay, I know what I don't want. How am I going to feel when I get what I do want?
Yeah.
How is that going to make me feel? So by holding on to your desired outcome constantly, having it, in your face, and truly saying to yourself, I know that's what I truly want. So until you breathe that, until you wake up and you think about that, that's what needs to happen for someone to make that leap.
And during that time, it's absolutely okay to still be employed.
Absolutely.
Right? To have that peace of mind that, my bills are paid, my mortgage or my rent is paid,
Yep.
my groceries are done, my kids are fed, while concentrating on your dreams, on your
Yes.
beliefs, on how you want to get your little business running out of your living room.
Yes. And that's what you did. You did it parallel, right?
Yes.
You had that cushion saying, okay, I know that I can always go back and do that if I needed to, right? So at the back of your mind, you're focused on your desired outcome the whole time.
Yeah, and what's going to happen? You're just going to be so busy with your kids, your employment, and then your self-employment that you won't have time to think negatively, because you're going to be concentrated on and focused on what do you want to get out of all this.
Yes.
So now we're doing it. And let's say something is not working, like failure. Last year, when I got my first team, I was working solo, and then I got my first team. I had my first fail. I felt like it was a fail because I lost a couple of clients because girls were not doing the great job, and maybe I wasn't doing the great job checking. I don't know, whatever. But is it the real reason to say, oh, no, I'm not meant for being or doing a business? It's just, I'd rather go back to that, because that needle and that leash will always be pulling.
Yes. So the first thing you do, you go inwards, okay? It's like talking to your higher self. Am I on the right path? And listen to what comes from within. Having said that, not everybody can be in business. I'm not saying that about you. But when you have that drive, like you did, when you have that drive to say, you know what, I know I can't do this anymore, and this is where I want to be, something drives you towards that. And, business is up and down.
Yes.
You can't always think that, okay, it's going to be kisses and flowers. But through all these up and downs, we learn and we grow. I'm pretty sure you learn a lot from that experience.
Yes.
So those things that you've learned now because you are now self-employed, I'm sure you're not repeating those things again, because yes, you looked at that and say, okay, what's the lesson here?
I'm changing my protocols.
There you are. So everything happens for a reason. So instead of focusing, oh my God, do I need to give this up? How about if we change the narrative and say, what is this experiencing teaching me? What do I need to take away from this? It's like, what am I learning in this? Right?
Yeah.
There is a reason why this is happening. What do I need to fix? You know, they say that when there is a problem, there is a solution. I've learned this from a mentor a while ago. He used to say, we have a problem, then we have the solution, and then the outcome is happiness. Because, you know, you transition to that. So everybody has ups and downs. You know, this is life.
Yeah.
But we have to move forward.
And the beauty of being self-employed or being an owner of corporation is that you belong to yourself and to your business solely, and you make your own schedule. And one season or one day you can make as much money as you need to secure your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And what I would advise is, if you're not sure when are you ready to get off the employment needle or drop the leash or bite the leash and let it go, the moment where your self-employment side job giving you enough money to pay yourself to fulfill your basic needs, this is the moment to drop off. And this is going to be your safe spot to drop off your employment and to finally be able of doing what you really like and what you really enjoy, right? And then your lifestyle changes.
Yes.
How the self-employment changes the life. Tell me about your experience.
So my experience, you're right. You have to work parallel. You can't give that income up immediately. Once you get to that comfortable spot, how life changes. You become more flexible. Okay? Flexibility is very important. You are your own boss. Okay? You are in control, right? You can hire people if you want to grow and expand. That gives you the opportunity to go out and, like you said, hire, and again, go through whatever needs to happen during the business. But one thing that it gives you is, if I wish to go on holiday for 2 days, I can do that because I've delegated what I need to happen in the business. And I know that my staff is going to take care of the business. And that's a huge thing. You can't do that if you are an employee, because as an employee, you go to work 9 to 5. You are being told what to do, and you don't have flexibility, right? You don't have a say most of the time what happens. Whereas as your own business, as a solopreneur.
And we're talking about own business. Yes, entrepreneurship. We're not talking about what's called self-employed. Remember this thing. If somebody is telling you to dig from the fence until the lunchtime, you're not self-employed, you're an employee. And given the fact that with the new budget of 2025, right now, the rules will be stricted and the CRA will be coming for those who pretend to be self-employed and for those employers who hire staff on subcontracts because they want more taxes, because budget needs money, everybody needs money. So we are talking here about real business, somebody who wants to collaborate, hire people, stuff like that. Then you become a business owner. Then you have this freedom that changes your lifestyle. But also, it's still not the end. You need to, from my own experience, what I feel is you need to learn now different things. How to be not a business operator, but the business owner. Because there is a difference between business operator and being a business owner. And maybe you can distinguish this for us.
So it's a mindset thing, right? When you are a business owner, you have more control. You make the decisions. You have the power to delegate, okay? You also have the power to diversify yourself if you want to. And you have that mind shift when you say, oh my God, my dream is now a reality, right? What can I do to grow from here? What else I can do to grow from here? So you got to have a vision that aligns with your values, because being in business, you need to have values as a business owner, but but you also need to have a vision that aligns with your values. And you have to be authentic. Come from that authenticity.
For who you are.
Who you
right?
are, yes.
Who am I
Yeah.
in my podcast? I'm the person who listens and who invites people who can speak to you and who can also inspire you on doing the business, doing the work, develop yourself as a human being.
Yeah.
That going to open the box. And in that box, there is a plenty of presents for you. You just need to believe in it, right? And who is the owner operator? Many accountants are the owner operators,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And why is that?
Well, I think it's a mindset thing. They limit themselves. They don't see the vision.
And they burn out in their basements.
That's right. They burn out in their basements. They don't hire help because they focus more on how much can I keep rather than realizing, hey, if I delegate and if I hire someone, it will give me the flexibility. You still work hard because
you need to train
you need to, exactly.
and explain and
Yes.
carry the responsibility
Yes.
and the liability of all
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. So some people don't want to do that because, you know, they don't want to
Somebody's going to steal my client.
but they like to micromanage, right? And they want to have control about everything. You know, they think that, if I hire someone, they're not going to do exactly the same. So they need to let go of that.
They will do exactly the same.
course.
If you train them with your
Yeah.
protocols, they will do exactly
Yeah.
the same. It's just,
And you have to be a good employer, meaning you have to show them respect. You have to show them values. And, you know, I guarantee you that if you do that, those employees will respect you more and they'll stay with you. And
if they are mine,
yes.
right?
Yeah. So it's all about how do you treat people, because as an entrepreneur, we need to have a little bit of empathy there to understand our stuff.
Yes.
We need to understand that, you know, we want to avoid conflict because you don't want conflict in an office, right? So as an owner, as a business owner, right? We need to think about those things. Do I need to put certain structure in? Do I need to become more empathic? If something happens, I really need to understand that person, how I can help avoid this in the future. And there's so many things that come up. Communication is huge as well, you know.
Yes. And I also think, like we're saying, that we need to, as a business owner, you need to delegate, right? But then it comes another fear, a fear of delegation, of belonging or depending on somebody's behavior, right? And then it comes to, I am dependent again. How to deal with that?
Well, again, that's a limiting belief because you really are in charge. You are the business owner. So you have to understand, do you want to excel and grow, or do you want to stay where you are? Because if you say, well, again, I'm not in control. I'm not going to hire someone because
I can control them.
Exactly. You cannot control everything in life, but you got to start trusting people.
Yeah.
And you got to show respect, empathy, trust. Make sure that when you communicate with them, you're very specific in your communication and that they truly understand what you are asking and that you truly understand what they are expecting.
Yeah. So,
right?
See, not only this transition from being employed to be self-employed, it not only takes, how am I going to do my taxes, if I'm going to pay my taxes. It takes a lot to consider if I'm going to hire. Am I envisioning business ownership or business operator, right? Am I learning how to trust? Am I trusting people? Do I have my protocols? Do I have enough money? Am I okay to leave the security? Am I okay to carry the liability? There is so much to take that some people might say, you know what, Kate, you wanted with this podcast, you wanted to tell me that I should become self-employed, but I don't want to be. I just want to be employed because I am not ready to carry all this responsibility. Is that okay?
If it's okay for them, it's okay. So you see, everybody makes choices. We cannot force anybody to do something that they don't want to do, right?
Yes.
So if someone, here's how the brain works, okay? The brain always looks for safety, okay?
This part.
Yes,
This part.
the conscious mind. But the brain overall, we are wired for survival, and we operate in two ways. We are either in survival mode or we are in a healing mode. So survival mode works like this. What if this is going to happen? What if I can't do this? What if I give up this security here, my benefits, my salary, and then I move over here, I lose those benefits, I lose my salary. What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't do this? All this happens in a very split of a second. And what does that do?
And it gives you an anxiety
It
right here
keeps
in
you
your
stuck.
stomach.
Yes. So that keeps you stressed, stuck, because it's an uncertainty. It creates anxiety and it creates fear, right? So when we operate from fear, we tend to make the wrong decisions because they're fear-based decisions. Now, when we are in a not survival mode, in a healing mode, what happens is we are grounded. We can see the vision. We can align that vision with our values. So people, from my experience working with different people, what I find is when they understand that, okay, yes, I am in survival mode, but now I need to shift. And to shift, I need to do certain things. Things have to change. Do I need to change my friends? Do I need to change my environment? Okay. Do I need to go out and go for a walk? Do I need to meditate? Do I need to ground myself? What is it that I need to change in order for me to change my outcome? If you change nothing, you'll stay where you are. And guess what? By not taking an action is an action on its own. So what does it need to happen? So the question that they need to ask is, what do I really want? People do not know what they truly want. They don't. I remember asking some of my clients, what do you truly want? Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I want a library in my office.
Good. That's a
I want
good
a
thing.
library in my office. And there is another thing that I want to say. I've heard the saying, fake it till you make it.
Yes.
I don't 100% agree with this because fake it till you make it is very close to misrepresent,
Okay.
right? But I know how I use it for myself. I say, let's play this game.
Okay.
You know, until you're a student of, the universe will teach you.
Yes.
And will treat you like you're her or his or its very best child. What do you think about that?
So here's what comes to mind. Rather than say fake it till you make it,
Dirty.
why not say act as if?
Yeah.
Act as if you already accomplished what you wanted to accomplish. Act as if you're already there. And as you're there, how do you feel? Step into that.
Amazing.
Right? And what do you feel internally?
Yes.
And guess what? The more you act as if, your brain learns that this is okay. This is an experience that I want to manifest into my reality. The more I step into that in the present moment, because we are all about the present moment. There is no past, there is no future. The unconscious mind understands only today. What am I experiencing today? So today you want to experience your outcome.
Yes.
How will that make me feel right now? What are the emotions that come up? And as you're experiencing those, guess what? Mentally, you feel as if you already accomplished it.
Yes.
Repetition and frequency, right? The more you go there, the faster you're going, because that's your focus. You focus, they say, where focus goes, energy flows.
Exactly.
So
That's why, as a business owner, you have to understand what is the mission and what is the vision
Yes.
of the business.
Yes.
How, like for myself and for my own business, my mission is to show people and to teach people, and my clients are Ukrainian. We people in Ukraine, only those who are self-employed know how to pay taxes, and even the system is not 100% okay. And I feel like this is going to change. Take me for my word. It's going to change quite fast because lots of countries are giving Ukraine money, and they would want to go into auditing the revenue agency, and to see and to maybe help and teach how they can get more money to the budget instead of asking finances from different countries. I might be wrong. We'll see how this will flow. But what I was going, I forgot.
It's okay. So I think you were going about the flow of things, right?
Yes.
How,
So you have to have a mission, and you have to have a vision of the business.
yes.
And this is what you need to concentrate. And then from there, you learn how to delegate. So I guess today we're really talking on how to be a business owner, not a business operator.
Right.
It takes a lot, and there are pitfalls. And we also talked about that. We talk about the mistakes that, hiring is a big thing. Hiring properly is another big thing. Make sure that it is okay to hire someone for the short period of time, give them tasks they need to complete. And then, yes, you can have them in subcontractors. You don't have to carry the liability as an employer. But remember one thing, if you're telling somebody what to do, when to do, how to do it, they're using your equipment, your computer, your telephone, they are your employees, and you have to do their payroll properly. They're not your subcontractors. They are your employees. And being a business operator or being a business owner is also important, that you understand that this is your responsibility to pay the CPP and the EI for them. Because it not only gives them unemployment needle that you need. If they are a good employee, right? You want to keep them. You also want to give them the security, the peace of mind, so they can concentrate on working well and growing your business. But not only that, you also need to have someone like Elena, right? Who's going to train you and who's going to help you to set the mind and get you going into a proper path. And how do you do that?
Well, we have to teach people that to focus more on the solution, right? We tend to think more negatively because that's how human behaves. And when something goes wrong, what we tend to do is go deeper into that negative pattern. So
when somebody tells me gives me a bad comment, go have fun with this. I appreciate it.
Exactly. So you don't get stuck in that. And then, because if you start to get stuck in that, guess what? Another negative thought comes in, and another. And by the time, in a few minutes, you could be stressed, anxious, and overwhelmed. And then you go into fight, flight. And when we are in fight, flight, what happens is we don't have reasonable thinking process, right? So we want to constantly have that reasonable thinking process and say, okay, become an observer. Stop for a second, pause, and really analyze what's really happening here. okay? How I can move forward, but from a positive perspective. I don't want to bask and stay into this because it's not serving me well. What needs to happen? Do you need to build boundaries? Sometimes we do need to build boundaries, right?
Yes.
Do I need to do something else? It's how we react in the moment. That's huge, right? Someone says a bad comment to you, and we can react badly, or we can step back and say, you know what? I'm not going to entertain that. I'm going to say thank you very much and move forward. Or do not allow that to affect you physically, mentally, and emotionally, because the moment we allow a negative pattern to affect us, then we go in fight flight.
Yeah. Look at the President Trump. I cannot get rid of that guy because, he might not be a greatest person for Ukraine, but this person really has no boundaries. He lost everything so many times and he built everything from the scratch.
Yeah?
And, he still think he can.
Yeah? Because he understands that his focus is there. So he's constantly focusing on his outcome.
Yes.
He does not allow anything else to get into his way. So we need to develop that mind
No matter
frame.
what, who, and how says, that it doesn't really matters. It's just where you want to be.
Yeah.
You want to have more money here and now. Good for you. Let's do this. My major reason why I started is, I moved to this bigger house. And I'm like, oh, now I need to pay all those bills. And I want to share this story. It's actually, and if you've been to my office, you've seen my office desk. And this is a story, it's a true woman's story, When I bought my house, I moved from a smaller place into a bigger place. And and I didn't have a mattress to sleep on. So I had my $600 in the pocket, nothing else but that $600. And I went mattress shopping. And when I walked into that furniture store, I saw this beautiful desk. You should visit my office. Come for consultations. You can book them on the website through the link. I leave the link in the bio as well. Come see my office, come see my table. So now you know the story about this desk. And I saw this desk, gorgeous, Don't forget, I will be sleeping on the floor. And my basement in my house was walls, just nothing. Empty walls, brick walls.
But there was one thing that you had.
I had a vision.
There you are. You had a vision.
I had a vision that when I saw that table, I was like, you know what? This is going to be my office table. It's going to stand right here, and I will have lots of clients coming into into my office, talk to me. I will help. I will consult. I will help females. Mind you, it was 2020.
So it was during...
It was before war.
Yeah.
And another thing that happened to me, I was thinking, who is going to be my client? I don't know. I didn't know all this that I know now.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was doing everything right because I thought, who is going to be my client? And I said, it's going to be females with kids, single moms. Why? Because I know this. I went through this. I went through this pain. I went through no money for food. I went through nobody needs me. Nobody respects me because I have nothing behind my back. And I have, I am open to anything. But I went through this and I was like, I have this experience that I want to share with those who needs me.
Also, who went through the same experience as you.
Yes, because I know that at the end of the tunnel there's a light.
Yeah.
And the tunnel's still not ended, but I've seen the light and I can lead the way.
And you did something else that's very important that you need to share is you had the vision, but sometimes just dreaming about it, nothing happens, but you took action.
Yes, I decided to play the game as a
Yes,
kid to that
exactly.
universe, and the universe has been very good to me.
Yeah. So having the vision is very important, but also taking action
Yes.
is so much important because you may have a dream, but that dream will never become reality if you don't take action.
Yeah.
So you had taken that action. You decided that, you know what, this desk is going to be there and this is what I'm going to do. So in your mind, you visualized it and you took action. And yes, I'm sure in the beginning it wasn't easy because you didn't know where your first client was going to come from.
Believe me or not, it came from where I was least expected, and that was the greatest experience for me.
Yeah.
You know, it was a client that literally I had. It's just out of nowhere, to be honest with you. And then another one out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I started, you know, and then the season came and people started coming to me. And I had those pitfalls where the client, they were bombarding me with their questions, and they even wrote something bad on a Facebook saying that I'm inadequate and something like that. But you know what? It's not about me.
No.
It's about those people.
Yeah, it's usually them when they say things like that.
Yeah, because I choose to say good things about people.
Yeah.
If I am silent about someone, it means I have nothing good to say. Yes. And talking about collaborations, right?
Yes.
Because when you're in the business and the next step, you're all self-sufficient. You are all like sitting on a desk and you're so perfect. So that's going to be a personal year of number 9, right?
Yes.
And then there's
which is just ending right now.
yes. And then there is another one. It's a new start, a new beginning, when you learn how to collaborate.
Yes.
We see a lot of businesses collaborating right now, right?
Yes.
Like New Balance collaborates with Gucci or something. They make this fancy shoes, and same with you. Learn how to collaborate and find your people who have same beliefs and visions.
Yes.
How to open to that?
Well, communication is important. Be specific in your communication. Don't be afraid to go out there, and if you want to collaborate with someone, approach them and say, hey, this is what I do. I looked at your profile. I feel that, you and I can, maybe do something together that benefits both of us. It's not such thing as collaborating and it's just a win for me. It has to be a two-way street, right? And you know what? You can ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, hey, what do you say if, we do something together, right?
What if somebody says no? It's a fear of being rejected.
And that's fine. You know what? You asked, and people don't have to say yes, right? But at least, you know what? I asked and I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable. They said no, that's fine. Move on and find another person. Because we can only control our actions. We cannot control someone else's actions. And just because they say no right now, maybe for them, it's right now is not a good fit. But you can always, hey, thank you very much. Well, what do you say if we touch base in maybe a couple of months? Maybe, the things will change. And I would just follow up 2 or 3 months down the road and see
if I'm still interested, right?
Yes,
because
exactly.
If this door is closed, doesn't mean that the other one is not waiting wide open for you.
Exactly. So they say, when one door closes, so many other opens.
Yes.
So we should not feel that, okay, if this door didn't open, now I'm stuck. No. One door closes, there's many other doors that open up. And, if you truly feel that, hey, I can do this and collaborate with someone, all I have to do is ask. If they say yes, fine. If they say no, I'm okay with it.
A lot of business owners also, and I went through this, because they're afraid not to have clients, right? They put their prices very low. I wanted to talk about this.
Yes.
And that's okay at the beginning, right? When I just started, my tax return started at $40. And believe me or not, it was so hard to do it. Oh my God. I burned out from 3-4 tax returns, like cheap tax returns, more than I burn out from 10 or 15 doing now for way better price. Check my prices on the website. Because they fear to be neglected, and somebody say, oh, you're too expensive. But you know what? It's not me too expensive. It's you who's not making enough money. Or you have limited beliefs. Or you not appreciating what I'm doing. Or you not willing to pay for my expertise.
Exactly. So they're paying for your expertise and for your skills. Otherwise, if they didn't come to you, they could do it themselves, but they can't do it themselves. That's why they come for someone like you. Now, people sometimes always like to negotiate and, devalue. And what does that tell you about themselves? They do have certain issues with money because they feel, oh, maybe I don't have enough to pay for this. That's their probably thinking, at the back of their mind. Or, oh, I want to pay less and still get the same value. But that doesn't happen. You won't get the same value if you pay less. You're paying me for my skills.
Yes, and you're paying me for my time.
Exactly.
Because for myself, in my price, even if it's a one-time return, right? So once a year, simple, nothing too nothing too complicated. In my services, I have this consultation where my client can call me during the year, and I make sure that I have time to answer.
Yes.
Lots of my colleagues, I know they don't have this.
They don't do that.
Yeah, I have. My vision is to give a little bit more.
To give value.
Yeah. Yes, I want to give value. I want to make sure my clients have the answers they're seeking, and I want my clients to be comfortable to call me to ask a stupid question. There is no stupid question. There is question that bothers you right in the moment because you're making a decision. So call me.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, they don't just pay you for your skill. They also pay you to hold their hands in a time of crisis.
And I'm willing to do that because I've been through moments where nobody holded my hand.
Yes.
I remember when I was doing one of the complicated tax returns for me at that time.
Yeah.
And I called one of my colleagues, just asking for the advice. And she said, you better don't do it because you're going to mess it up.
Yeah.
I said, thank you for your advice. And I still did that tax return. And I figured at that moment, even though that person was the one who actually told me, go and start learning how to do the taxes because you able to. She was the one who inspired me. And then at some moment, she was the one who, with this one phrase, right? But sometimes it takes even one word, not even a phrase, to discourage you so much.
Yes.
I still did it, and I got myself a different mentor.
Good.
So being a business owner also means, yes, you're a business owner, you're already there, you already have a level, but that does not mean that you don't need a mentor as somebody who is going to guide you through this.
Yes.
Through those pitfalls especially. Because we don't need no one where we happy. You know, even though the winner stands alone, but the winner stands on the hill and inhales that fresh air that nobody can feel, right? Because you're there. And
But we all need resources, right? And
Yes.
those are part of resources.
But especially when we're not super happy, right? When we're actually feeding our business from the line of credit, we need someone who's gonna hold your hand,
Yeah.
and that hand holder, right, can be
That's
Elena
value.
or me
Yeah.
or other business mentor, right?
And that's a lot of value, because I'll be honest with you, I have a friend who said to me, Elena, every time I go and get my taxes done to this person, and this is true story, and she said to me, if I call them for advice during the year, I get a bill in the mail. So I talk to them for 15, 20 minutes, I get like $200 bill. What's up with that? I said, well, they're charging you. Obviously, if you're not happy with that, you got to do something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what you do, but obviously this person thinks that they created value, but they want to charge for it. Now, everybody is different, right?
Yeah, I want that to be already incorporated.
There you are. So your price is higher, but that includes that from the beginning.
Yes.
And they are receiving value not just during the tax season, but they also receive your value during the year.
Funny enough, I still have clients who came to me from different accountants.
Yeah.
This year that they came to me with asking for advice.
Yeah.
Believe me or not, I still have it here.
Yeah.
The client says, how much do I owe you? I'm like, nothing. He's like,
Yeah.
maybe something for a coffee. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
It's included in what you paid already.
Yeah, because you see, other accountants don't do that. They charge them for every little thing. So this is one way of creating huge value. You give, right?
And
but then they have to respect your price.
And I am still giving, because this year I am going to do tax-free clinic. My staff will be practicing, so expect, but I will be checking. If you're self-employed under $30,000 and you're in a tight position where you barely putting your ends together, there is a tax clinic tab on my website. You can tap, you can shoot me a little story of why you think you might be a candidate for this, and I will call. We will have a consultation, and I will let you know how can I help. I know, and people told me that once a person, I gave a 13-minute consultation, and the guy said, he texted me a text message saying, you know what, I've been seeking this answer for a year and a half, and you actually were able to answer all my questions in 13 minutes. And to me, things like that are really something that I want to concentrate on, rather than on somebody who going to tell me no or trying to disadvantage.
Or put you down. So we have to stop listening to naysayers. And this is where the mindset comes in. We stop listening to naysayers and we stay focused.
With people like-minded,
Yeah.
with people who pat each other back, with people who willing to collaborate, with people who willing to support, to tell you how, when, and aid you with that, give you a hand, or tap your shoulder, or invite you for maybe a networking event or something like that, right?
Well, in business, we can collaborate, help one another. You never know. I may get a person who needs your expertise. You may get someone who needs my expertise. So, collaboration is important because you never know, right? I mean, you're telling me earlier on about the stone, and I said, oh, I have a stone that I want to get done, right?
Yes.
So that's you and I talking and collaborating, just talking, but then you see, we exchange information. You never know when the next client is going to come from.
And that's in events like this. Sometimes people think, oh, why would I go there? It's not going to give me any money.
Yeah.
But it's not about money. It's and people of business understand that when we communicate, when we work with our mind, with our soul, with our body, with our networking, it all creates us a business, and money and income, it's only a side effect of everything that you've done through your mission and through your vision.
Yes. Yeah, communication is very important, and networking. We have to stop focusing, oh, if I go there, how much money is going to come in for me?
Because they won't come.
No, it won't come. We need to focus on the connection, authentic connection, authentic communication, you know. That's what we need to embrace more.
And on this beautiful note, I'd like to say thank you, Elena, for coming. Maybe
you.
there is something you want to share as your last word for today in this podcast. And I like to already re-invite you for a future. Maybe there's going to be a topic that you'd like to talk. So please don't be shy and go ahead.
Okay, so, well, one of the things that I can share is decide what you want to do. Okay, it's very important to know what you really want. See yourself doing it in the present moment, because it's all about now. Take action. Stop listening to naysayers and do what makes you feel good, because when you feel good, that's what you project out there. We are all about vibration, energy, connection. So when we stay in the present moment and we feel good and we know our vision aligns with our values, then we know we are in the right place. So that would be what I would share right now with everybody that's listening. And I just want to say thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure. I always like to support people who support me. And I always like to give back one way or another. And I also wanted to tell to everybody who's watching today that you are in the right place because you already watched this. And that means you are ready to make your next move. Don't jump off of the bridge into pitfall of, I'll leave my job tomorrow. I will start my business today. Build yourself a cushion. You have the support from me. You have the support from the mentors like Elena who can help and guide. And let's keep in touch.